Hey, it's Mike with Signature Custom Wraps, and we're going to be doing an installation video on the Model X rear lighted tee from EVANNEX. Okay, so we got our Model X P100D with Ludicrous. We're going to do the lighted LED light on the back. A couple places we're going to start. Taking the back piece off, clip, 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 clip. Easily we're going to bend this up a little bit, get our pry tool in here, kind of just slide right around and just start popping things off. So we have a bunch of clips. You have the button for the Liftgate. It's just a simple pull it out, plug, and you're done. So that's our first piece that we're going to get. Put this aside somewhere safe. We're going to move into this inner panel. Pretty much the same thing, bunch of clips. It's just going to pop off. So we're going to try to get in the corners. And there we are. So 2 tough clips. You got some in the middle, you got one here, and 2 on the end. So that's going to give us our wiring. Okay, so we're back onto the third, fourth piece that we're going to be taking off. We're going to have 2 little pops, and we're going to have a torque 2.5. And then we're going to have 2 pops. Somewhere safe. All right, so once we have that, we're going to start working our way around. You're going to start, some of this will start popping right off. All right, so we got this piece first. We have the light coming off. Just move it off. Like that. Things to check for: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 of them. So we have, we went from top, inner piece, we took off the big piece. So we have this side piece. We have 2 hex here and here that are going to pop out. And then there's a bunch of clips down the side. And then there's a clip inside here. You're going to have to pop these off a little bit. Okay, and then once this comes off, in here are 2 black little pop rivets that are connected to the back piece up in here. So you're going to pull them off. This is going to pop off, and then this will slide right out. It's actually pretty simple for this to come off in here. And then it's that piece right there. Okay, so onto the rear logo. Just a couple little things I do. Wax pencil. I kind of just keep my lines. It comes off. just in case. So what we're going to do now is we're going to remove this. We're going to remove this with the wire that comes with the kit. We're going to take the top one off first. We're just going to run your fingers a couple times. So we have the top one. Bottom one's a little bit more trickier, but just keep cutting away at it. Ta-da. Okay, so basically this is on here. Two things you can do. You can remove this or you can keep this. Depends on how you want to do it. I'm going to put this away, save this. Next step is going to be to figure out where our placement is. You can keep this on here for right now, at least to hold these up. On the top arc, there's going to be a notch. That's where you're going to drill your hole. That's going to be for your upper wiring. And then on the bottom one, the main T, there's another notch. That's where you're going to drill your second hole. That's going to be for your main T wiring also. So that we're going to get into taping this up here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start drilling our holes. That'll be next. So to prep this and get this ready, so I'm going to stick this on here, right on there, and you'll see where the black comes through. I'm just going to tape this on. Small tape. It stays there. Everything's in with the old adhesive that's there. Pretty much my template. I can leave it right there while I drill this hole in here. So now I'm going to get my drill bit all set up. It's a 0.125 going in. So basically we already have our template up. We're obviously going to find our spot, and we are going to slowly drill this in. You may want to be on this side. No? Okay. Pretty simple. All right, so that's our bottom one. This is going to be our top one. And there we have it, 2 holes. Okay, so now our holes are drilled. We got 1 and 2. We have our top arch and our main T. On the back of these is the 3M adhesive tape. Basically, we're going to remove this. We're going to slide it through, but before we slide it through, we're going to take this off. We're going to take off the rear adhesive tape backing, and we're going to slide this through our hole that we just drilled. All the way through. And before we complete that, we're going to take our silicone that comes with the kit. We're going to take a small little dab. This is for water. We're going to put a little piece on there. We're going to finish sliding that right through. We're going to line everything up nice and neat. And there we go. So that's our lower piece, our main T. Keeping everything all lined up. You got the silicone on the wire for the water, and the lines are all the way through. We're going to do the same thing for the arch. We are going to remove the 3M adhesive backing. We're going to slide this through our hole. before we finalize that, we're going to put some silicone on there also. We're going to line everything up. Make sure everything's nice and tight. And that's our outer tee. Yep. So what we have on here is our outer tee. We still have some of the colored pencil on there. And what we can do is we can go through and now we can do this on here. Get this all off. You can do this now or you can do it at the end. Everything's lined up. Simple. Nice and clean. And there's our tee for the outside. Next, we're going to go inside to all the wiring, and we're going to pick that up next. Once we're in here, you're going to see the main line coming up. There's two loops here. It's this thicker loop. And right now I already have a piece in here for the wiring. There's two wires. There's a brown wire and a darker black wire. The brown wire is the one that we need. This goes to the brake light in the spoiler. So there's only two wires in here for the brake light to the spoiler. We tapped into the lighter brown of the two wires, and that's where we're going to start for our brake light for that. So now that we have our tee up there, we are bringing our wires through. They literally just fall right down. Very simple. So basically we're splitting the black and red and the red. Black and red and red. And we are going to put these together. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the posi locks that come with it. So we have a posi lock. They come apart. So we are going to run some wires together. We're going to put the posi locks together. And then the red, or the white, blue, and yellow cord has an extension, is what we need. So we're going to go up into this part that we tapped into earlier. And then we're going to connect these. This will be our brake light. And then we're going to connect to our license plate light. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to put these together. Black and red. So we have these wires we already did. So we tapped into the tail light. It's on the loop, the thick wired loop going in here. There's a rain guard here. This goes into the spoiler. So you got your main line. You got a small little loop. You're going to cut it open, and there's going to be two wires in there. We tapped into the brown wire. So from here, we also found, if you come over here under here, there is the bundle of wires. We tapped into the blue line, which will end up going into the tail lights. And here is our ground. So basically we have our ground going in. We have our yellow for our tail light that we tapped, that we are going to put on. And now we are going to tap our blue into this. Okay, one more check. So we have brake light. We have our white going into our ground. We have our blue that's tapping into our license plate light. We're going to come around and check. We have our dim light. And then if we hit the brake, ta-da. Okay, so now we're going to go back in and we're going to kind of clean all this up. So what we're going to do is we're going to run some black electrical tape. We're going to we're going to attach the yellow to here. We're going to bundle some of this up together, nice and neat, with some zip ties. And these are going to get zip tied here. And we're just going to clean everything up. So we'll be right back. Time to reassemble everything. So we're going to start with the side panel here. You're going to see that we have a metal clip. We're going to have 2 rivets, pops. They're going to go in here and in here. They're going to go up inside here under the stereo rail here. Okay? And then we're also going to have 2 Torques that are going to go in. One here and one here. So we're going to assemble these by popping these in. This is going to get tucked up. You're going to lift this up. This is going to get tucked up underneath here. And there's little steps, 1, 2, 3. And they're going to fit right up in there nice and easy. Here's one.
Do you like to hold the speakerphone back?
Nope. There's 2. So we got this in here. We're going to go back. We're going to screw this in. Lock that down really secure. We have our screw that was left over here. We're going to put back in. Or torque, sorry. So now we have this. We're just going to make sure these are all plugged back in. This is good. Check these lines earlier. This is done. And we're going to add this piece in here now. So we have our center piece here. Clip, outer clips. Excellent. So we have our second to last piece. We're going to have the main piece, and we're going to have the final bar that's going to go in. Before you put this on here, you might want to come in here. There's a little tab right here, which is the release to the tailgate. Make sure that it is Velcroed on there, this little tab. All right. So before we put this on, we're just going to make sure that this is going the right way, and we're going to slide in our light fixture right in there. It's okay. And there we go. Make sure it's in. Okay, so we have a lot of tabs. This is going to be a two-person job. What you're going to do is you're going to try to line these tabs with all the holes, but initially start with these tabs here. If you can find your holes there, these usually will fall in place. Like that. And make sure you have this cord coming out. This is for the power gate up and down. And then we have tabs that are going in here, and we also have the tray that's going to go in here next. We're going to walk around, just make sure everything is flush. This is flush. This is going to be flush. This is going to be flush tab, and we're good. Okay, before we put this piece on here, we have the cup that's going to go in here. You have 2 push pins. 2. Good. We have the last cover piece. Don't forget to plug in the door switch. Okay. And we have clips, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for this little piece of plastic. Nice and good, make sure our button works. We have our light on. It'll go off because we don't have any parking lights on. Now if we can go hit the brakes again one last time before we put the final touches on. So we'll have a brake light. It's going to light up with the brakes. And then if we have our driving lights on, it'll be at a low dim. Nice and low. And our brakes again. And brakes again. And there you go. So, final touches of the whole entire project. We have our main tee and our arch. I like to put down the arch or the main tee first. We have our 3M backing tape. I'm going to peel that right off. We're going to align it nice and good, like that. We're going to take the 3M backing tape off the arch. We're going to apply the arch, nice and neat. Make sure everything lines up. And there you have it, your light up LED tee on your Model X. That's sexy.